Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're doing another What's It Worth, and obviously, as we may know, it's currently the anniversary part 2 event release, and we know that part 1 was very underwhelming. There was really nothing to make content on other than raids, and that's not really my thing, but fortunately enough, we did get a lot of reskins, and I know it's gonna be a little bit of a pain to hunt for some of the actual reskins in the wild, but overall, we've had a great bunch this year, and with this anniversary update, we obviously have the new Mecha Ikazune, and getting straight to the point, we're gonna be covering over what's standing right behind me, being none other than the GLEAMING Mecha IKAZUNE. And this bad boy was actually handed to me by Not Anti-Noob, so major shoutouts to you. Here's your Roblox account, so major shoutouts to you once again. But before I get straight into the major facts, please take everything I say with a grain of salt, as this could vary. As well as for the fact that it's very early into the event, so not a lot of values are really well defined. But mainly for the Mecha IKAZUNE, it seems like a lot of people are settling around, currently right now being the lowest around 2 GR at the very lowest, and around the highest we can see this being around 3 to 4 GR at the best, with possible demands of being horrendous towards decent. Now, in order to obtain this Ikazune, all you need to do is go outside of Sephiroth City and complete the Guardian raid. If you complete the normal one, it's a 33% chance to get the voucher. If you complete the Nightmare, it's a 100% chance, and you just redeem the vouchers. And the chances for getting the Gamma is a 1 in 320. As for the Alpha, it should be a 1 in 64 chance. However, if this is incorrect, obviously correct me on that, but it should be standing at that chance. It's very low, relatively easy to get, so long as you know what you're doing. Oh, this being said, let's get straight into the trading process. All right, let's go to the chat. Let's type in looking for offers on Alpha Mecha Ikazune, and boom. And now let's wait for offers. All right, and our first trader request is coming from Dark_Star GG. Let's see what Dark has shared with us today. So we're sort of with 2 Gleam Discus being Dull Nimble and Tender Nimble, and it does seem like this may be Dark's final offer, but I'll quickly check in a second. All right, and I did just quickly confirm with Dark as whether or not this is their final offer or not, and they did just say yes. With this being said, is this trade worth it? Firstly, this trade has got to be an E/W, pushing towards that W side in the long run, obviously because a lot of these are going to be found, so therefore their quantity is going to lower the overall demand because not a lot of people are going to want it necessarily, because of the fact that a good chunk are going to have it. And that being said, it's already at a low value to begin with bad demand, so therefore this should be classified as E/W. Personally would take this over the Ikazunes currently, but that being said, let's get into our next trade. All right, and the next trade request is coming from Emperor of Gardening, so let's see what Emperor has shared with us today. So we start off with a Gamma Mecha Ikazune, Pure Nimble, a Gamma Behemoth, Pure Nimble, Gleam Christmas Nevermare, Brawny Sluggish, a Gleam Christmas Odiaga, Pure Nimble, Gamma Dragodine, which is the Gamma Paramine variant, Pure Nimble, a Gleam Bronze Scorb, Pure Nimble. And without even having to ask, Emperor did just say that's my final offer. Obviously, as we can tell, this is going to be a major flex offer, so without a matter of fact, is this trade worth it? I think we pretty much know. This trade's got to be a massive thumbs up by default. You're not going to really see a trade like this, and if you somehow do, and they really are serious about it, I would just do it. No questions needed. Everything on the right combined would instantly make this a W without a second doubt. So with this being said, let's get into our next trade. All right, and the next trade request is coming from AJ Cool 32146. Let's see what AJ has shared with us today. So we start off with a Gamma Pyramide being Pure Nimble, and it's also going to be Temper, a Rainbow Cosmere, Pure Nimble, Gamma Dorogo, Smart Foolish, a Rainbow Arceus, Pure Nimble. And it does seem like this may be AJ's final offer, but I'll quickly check in a second. All right, I did just confirm with AJ as to whether or not this is their final offer or not, and he did just say yes. With this being said, is this trade worth it? This trade is an obvious massive thumbs up. Now I'm under the assumption this is going to be a semi-legitimate offer, but for all I know, this could be an overpay that's based on a flex. For what it is right now, this trade is an obvious massive thumbs up. Obviously, as we may know, the Gamma Pyramid alone is going to be something that you would want to take on a one-on-one. That is 5+ extra GR you would ever get in this trade. Everything else is just a massive add-on, although yes, I know the demand in GR for the Gamma Dorogo and the Rainbow Arceus aren't the strongest, and the Rainbow Cosmere is around like 1 GR-ish at the very best, but keep in mind, as ads, those are still going to be great ads in this scenario. So that being said, once again, another thumbs up, and with this being said, let's get into our next trade. All right, and the next trade request is coming from Baconator 1896, so let's see what Baconator has shared with us today. So we start off with a Gamma Nemesis, Pure Nimble, Gleaming Kazune, Brawny Foolish, a Gamma Uncommon Kayego, Pure Smart, a Gamma Christmas Skill Lava, Pure Nimble, a Rainbow Glissadia, Pure Robust, a Rainbow Sigigon, found in the wild, Pure Nimble, Rainbow Arceus, Pure Nimble, a Gleam Pyrmine Reskin Kayego, Pure Smart, a Gleam Bronze Gardron, Indifferent, and a Sapphire Scorn, Pure Clumsy. And it does seem like this may be Baconator's final offer, but I'll quickly check in a second. All right, and I did just confirm with Baconator, who did just say, yes, this is my final offer. So with this being said, is this trade worth it? Obviously, once again, it seems like this is going to be an overpay, unless the value is really this confusing in the community. Obviously, since it is relatively new, I can understand the confusion, but let's just take the assumption that it's going to be these 4 Loomians on the right. With this being said, are these 4 Loomians worth it? Personally speaking, I would definitely do this trade. However, just keep in mind this is going to be looking more closer towards an E, more over than a W, mainly just because of the fact that the Sklavas, though be it that they are solid for, you know, how common they were, they're around like 0.5 to 0.7, but with horrendous demand. Personally speaking, it's definitely going to have better yield overall in comparison to this Ikazune, but if we were to say that all these Loomians, including the ones on the right, are part of the final offer, then major thumbs up, no question. question of a doubt. But obviously in this case, Baconator did just say, yes, this is my final offer, obviously referring to these 4. So as we said, in between thumbs up for that, obviously since it's leaning more towards that E. But with this being said, let's get into our next trade. All right, and the next and final trade request is coming from V7_Dark. So let's see what Dark has shared with us today. So we showed up for the Gamma Pyramide, Pure Smart, and it's also going to be idiosyncratic, a Gleam Christmas Vari, Indifferent, Gamma Weaslin, Pure Robust, Gamma Buzzlin, Pure Robust. And it does seem like this may be Dark's final offer, but I'll quickly check in a second. All right, so I did just confirm with Dark, ask whether or not this is their final offer or not, and he did just say yes. And it does seem like these are 2 actual separate offers, being that they were actually just swapping them back and forth. So let's just assume that these are 2 separate offers. With this in mind, is the first trade right here of these 4 Loomians worth it? Obviously, it's gonna have to be a major thumbs up. Keep in mind that the Gamma Pyramide alone is around almost 5 to 7 GR at the very highest. So that being said, it's gonna be a major steal. With everything else as an ad, obviously, once again, a no-brainer. So with that being said, let's go on to the second trade. The second trade right here being the Gamma Elephage, which is also gonna be Pure Smart, is gonna be yet again another thumbs up. Do keep in mind that although it is around 7 to 10 GR, it's gonna be around that 10 GR so long as it has the right nature. In this case, obviously, it is Pure Smart, so yes, it will have that 10 GR good demand range. And that being said, it's gonna be once again another thumbs up. So with that being said, let's wrap these trades up. So yeah, guys, that's gonna be it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy, make sure to like, subscribe, and join our Discord server. While you're at it, cop some of our merch and make sure to represent your drip. All right, we are planning to hopefully drop some new merch probably within a month or 2 from now. Hopefully by the time Route 9 does release, if it does release, that is. And one more last thing I want to say is I do plan on starting an art competition for potentially what could be USD or Robux in general. If you guys will be interested in that, obviously you want to join that Discord server ASAP. I do plan to make a video separately on this, but it will have prompts based on Loomian Legacy or other games like The Mimic, just in general prompts and whatnot. So with this being said, once again, remember, pineapples are vegetables. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, stay safe, peace.